to Dragon Ball Super Dope. My name is Kyle. Thank you for checking this out. Joined today by my friend Raysean. Raysean, what's up, man?
Yo, what is good?
Hello.
Chilla.
From the R-Gap podcast, Raysean Gadson Anime Podcast. Go check it out. Here to talk about episode 3 of Dragon Ball Daima today. It is called Daima. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I think it's the best episode that they've done to this point. And I think it's a really good example of, I think, what we can expect on a week-to-week basis. I kind of said the same thing about episode 2 last week, but in retrospect, episode 2 is kind of like the second half of the first episode, and that it does all the setup. This seems like it's going to be a little bit more of the formula in terms of episode to episode, new planet, a little bit of hijinks, fun and adventure. Also, that fight scene at the end with Goku chowing down McDoubles.
That was pretty good.
Handing out ass whoopings. Whew, peak Goku shit right there. This is my favorite one so far of the 3. First general reactions, how do you feel?
I'll say the same thing. I'll say this was the best episode. You got a lot more out of this episode than the last few. You kind of get to see where the story might be going. You also get to kind of see the different and the classism in between the races and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. You get to see a little bit more of that dynamic. I also want to kind of see the morality. Is that going to be different? Are they going to be more willing to kill people in the demon realm versus the other realms and stuff like that? I don't think we've gotten to that part yet. And I don't know if this is going to go into those dark themes like that, but yeah, I think it'll be cool to see if they do that. But
yeah, I don't imagine getting it too violent, but I know what you mean.
General reactions, I'm going to say it was pretty good. I also liked it, the Kaioshin. I thought he was more likable, and I could see why they chose him to kind of be more of the duo with Goku in this series, because I just feel like they just work well with each other. One being more like aware of the situations, trying to figure out what's going on, and then one being the more curiosic and letting the world kind of go by type of person. So I think they work pretty good together.
Yeah, I honestly had the same thought watching this episode. It's a great pairing, not only because he's got the demon card, with his pointy ears, and he knows about the demon realm and all that, but also, the mashup of carefree, nonchalant Goku and always like suspicious and suspecting Shin. It's a good dynamic, and he needs a character like that who's got like half a brain about them, because Goku's just whatever. I'm here. Yeah, I'll fight some guys. You got a burger? All right, I'll eat a burger. Let me read the synopsis for this episode. It's a quick one.
I want to say one last thing. Sure. I think it's also cool that we're also getting to see magic getting used a lot more. So now we get to kind of see how that plays a part into like the power system and stuff. So
yeah, honestly, I think it makes sense for them to have to go after a magic-based enemy to keep the stakes. Not only like they do a good job in this one of kind of setting up what the demon world is and what it's like, and they talk about like this one like infinite chasm, the sea of darkness, I think they call it. Like, don't fall in there, you'll die, like right away. Like there's all these unknown kind of extra things that could potentially be a threat, but it's almost like magic to Superman. Like Superman doesn't really have a counter for magic, and like magic-based villains give him a problem. Kind of a reminiscent of that, I think, or I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but definitely I had that thought as well. This synopsis I'm going to read is from Otaku Revolution. It says here, Glorio's ship passes through the barrier to the demon realm, landing in the third demon world where he's from. Goku notices that the air, which is thick with smoke from volcanoes, makes his movement more sluggish. Glorio, Goku, and Kaioshin rent a room in town, then proceed to a bar where Goku eats. The group are attacked while they eat, but Glorio and Goku easily repel their attackers. The next day, however, they discover Glorio's ship has been stolen. So I wrote a bunch of shit down as I rewatched the episode again this morning. Raysean and I are doing this on Sunday afternoon, which is much earlier than both of us are used to when it comes to recording podcasts. So we're a little out of it, forgive us. But this episode for me was some real peak Goku shit, in that he's just, I say it all the time, the boy is just straight disrespectful on a regular basis. And he does it in like a joking kind of way. When they go through warp the first time, and you realize that warp isn't just like this one entity; it's like a system of travel, basically. And him just being like, "Look at this goldfish motherfucker right here. What are you up to, you big fishy fuck?" He's like, "Hey, I'm not a goldfish." And no, you're a goldfish. Like, shut up, Goku. You don't know what this guy's about. You don't know. You're gonna need him. Um, but he just can't help himself. He's just constantly disrespectful. And the disrespect is, kind of, it's like a sandwich. That's how it starts in this episode. And then the end, he's just like chowing McDoubles and beating the shit out of some demons at the same time and making it look effortless at the end. Straight disrespect. Uh, any thoughts on Goku's overall disrespectful nature in this episode?
I thought it was funny that like he calling him a goldfish and the actual thing actually understands like what a goldfish is. So it's like I always think it's interesting when he's able to say these earth terms and these godly type of characters be like able to understand what he's saying. So it's like, okay, so you know what a goldfish is, and you know you kind of look like a goldfish. No, let's not act like what Goku's saying is out crazy. I do like this is when I kind of first kind of was like I like the pairing between him and Shin because you got Shin like shut the fuck up like, but I like the fact that Shin also kind of like I understand what you said, but you don't need to be saying that shit right now type shit. Like, hey, come on, this is a god. We gonna need him to get back and forth and shit. And then I like the fact that he like, oh shit, there's a password. I need to fucking try to relate this information and shit. But because Goku not even thinking about that. This low key like, yeah, they're gonna find a way in. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how the fuck they gonna do that?
It'll all work out. Don't worry.
But I think it is like, yeah, Goku, he does his disrespectful. I don't think he tries to be disrespectful. I just think he just meets everybody on his level and he doesn't care where you're at. It is like you're no matter what, we're on the same thing. Like we're the same type of person. We both live type of thing. He's not gonna treat you different just because you're a god. And I think that's one of the things a lot of people do find as disrespect, but I feel like a lot of people just end up working with it because I mean, Beerus after a while end up going cool with it. I mean, the Omni King cool with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I just think it's shocking, but it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because they eventually like figure out that he has no ill intent behind it. He's just like talking to you how he talked to anybody. So I'll give you points there, but man, when he's just shoving a McDouble in his mouth and he's dropping an elbow on some dude's back, what's that about? Like, you don't have to be...
you trying to fight me while I'm eating. You get whatever you deserve. So I feel that. And I just feel like it's hilarious that they're calling these things burgers and it look like they got like tongues and stuff coming out of the burgers and stuff. And he's just eating them up. This is the one thing I got to say. Him being an alien might just make everything work out because it just seemed like he's just willing to eat everything and don't care. I don't see. Well, I guess Vegeta might, but I don't know if the rest of the Z fighters might be able to just go here and just eat food like it's nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like maybe Piccolo too, depending on how he actually see himself.
Krillin isn't going to be eating any demon burgers anytime soon. I do think that line is funny. He's like, "Hey, what are these made out of again?" He's like, "You don't need to know."
That make me really like wonder, like, is these made out of like demons? Like, are they like, let's cut these motherfuckers up? Because they did look like they had tongues and shit coming out of the burger.
You saw tongues, dude? I thought it was like the demon version of like bacon, like a bacon burger or something. Oh, but maybe they are tongues.
Maybe I don't know. The way it looked animated to me, it looked like tongues. So, and he was just slurping that shit up. Like, I'm like, Goku, you was something else. Then the fact that he was like, I already ate. Give me 5. I was like, go. That's the disrespectful thing right there to your pockets. Like, nigga, talk about you. Oh, this is just a light meal. I was like, Shin looking like, yeah, I'm glad you got it type shit. Because I wonder who did bring money for food. Because, man, this is when you wish Momo would have came.
Glorio's got resources. Glorio seems to have some money. I actually want to talk about Glorio a little bit here.
Oh yeah, he was gangster this episode. His son, I definitely want to talk about.
Yeah, so before we talk about him, dishing out ass whoopings, which is pretty cool to see, like he can certainly hold his own. Is he 100% on the level? Do you think he's being honest with Goku and Shin about why he's come to collect Goku?
Well, I don't think so for sure because it's still some information that you still need to get because it's still like, how did he really even know about Goku? Because we know he wasn't in that room. So really, it depends on who he's taking him to. That's going to be the most interesting thing. And what's also going to be the big factor is when he was talking to Shin and he was talking about the different levels and stuff, and he was talking about yeah he got some work in the first
Yeah,
level, and then Shin was like, "What you do?" And he couldn't he act like he couldn't
this
tell him
and
what he
that.
did.
Yeah,
That's going to be the thing. That's going to be the most interesting thing. I don't know if they're going to go the assassin route, which I think they may not, but that gun he carries have some meaning to it because when he pulled that thing out on that the shop end, he almost turned fucking blue. So I wonder what that means. And he just showed him to him. He didn't like even pull it out. So
yeah.
that must have some meaning to it.
I like that you brought up the gun because I think the gun and his jacket are very reminiscent. I don't know if this is on purpose or whatever. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. It's got a Han Solo vibe. And Han Solo,
You
if we
feel
know
like
anything about Han Solo, is that he was a scoundrel. He was a smuggler. He would be a bit of a double agent sometimes, go out for one person and then realize that something else served his interest better. And he fucking turned around and served the other person instead. So you can tell, and we talked about this a little bit, that Shin's like the more competent of the two, and he's like suspicious and kind of looking at Glorio with eyes like, what are you up to? Where do you come from? Where do you go? Where do you come from, Glorio? Damn. So I think that there's the potential that he might have um not so pure intention. So like the way that he frames it to Shin is, I'm here on behalf of the Demon King of the Third World. So in this little caste system that they have, he's from the Third World, and apparently there's a Demon King in each of the worlds. So it's a Demon King who is not Goma. His name is King Kaden, Kadan. Um, and basically, he wants Goku to come and help King Kaden or fight on his behalf to defeat King Goma. It's just there's so many extra little details in there that like maybe they are part of the demon world lore, or maybe they're just part of like an intricate kind of backstory, and maybe he's luring in Goku to King Goma now that he's like a depowered little kid. He's like, yeah, now go get him for me so I can whoop his ass. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna trick Goku into going to find the what the heck's the name of that item that Goma was gonna wish for? The third eye thing that was gonna make him all powerful. Maybe they're gonna trick Goku into going and fetching that for King Kaden, and then it's really for King Goma or something like that. But I just feel like Glorio does not have like there's things that he's not telling us. The other thing that made me
for sure.
kind of suspicious about him too, right, is when they get to that hotel, and this is after like he shoots off the bandits and like all this shit, that cool little OG Dragon Ball kind of reminiscent scene that was, the slow motion arrows and stuff, and then he shoots them off with the gun. That was very cool. But they go to that hotel, right? The I don't know, the innkeeper or whatever the heck you want to call it. Um, he tries to charge him 30,000 credits, whatever the currency is, and it's like, Jesus Christ, it's a lot of money. I'm probably reading too much into this, but I was like, why is he just randomly hitting up Glorio for 30 grand? How does he know that he might even have 30 grand? Is he trying to extort him? If he is trying to extort him, that would mean that maybe he's got some sort of knowledge of who he is. Maybe he's a rich guy. Maybe he's somebody who's known to work for kings or whatever, which he is in this case. But then he's like, I'll shoot you in the face, dog. I got a gun right here. That'll be 5,000 instead. I wonder if like his reputation precedes him, and that he's more of a commonly known figure. But again, I'm probably just reading too much into that and thinking about it too much. Maybe it was just some shitty guy who was trying to extort, a random stranger. But I don't know. That scene stuck out in my brain for some reason, and I'm not 100% sure why. I just wanted to bring it up on record there.
Well, I thought he kind of explained it when he was like, "Well, I'm the only like shop in on this side of town, so it's like
Yeah.
he can basically make the prices whatever he wants, and you bet damn." So to me, that just makes it seem like he's fucking over almost everybody in that area, low key.
And
And he's
Glorio's
all,
not having it. I'll shoot you in the face.
nah, like these shouldn't be the prices over here. This should probably be the prices in like probably the second or the first world or some shit like that. So
I do love the demon world though. The third demon world that we come into, it looks beautiful with like that purple pinkish kind of sky and those floating land structures throughout. It sounds like it smells like sulfur. given all the volcanoes that are floating around and all that stuff. Doesn't sound like it smells very pleasant. Goku ripping a fart in this episode, classic. Like this episode is peak Goku's shit to me. I swear to God. What else did I write down here?
I like the fact when he asked him, like, yeah, can I get a breath of air? Let me see what my surroundings. And they basically go down and he's just fucking around and you just see him basically exploring like a little kid and everything. And then him testing out the fucking environment, his fighting style. And then you learn that there's also another gas that's in the atmosphere that I guess not harmful, which I wonder if it's like flammable or anything like that or something like that or some shit. But now we get a whole nother thing that Goku has to now figure out how to fight with because now he got the. I thought they were going to say it was the gravity, but I guess they're not using gravity because I guess shit is floating up in the air. It's kind of hard to be like, this is the Earth gravity type shit. So I guess it's like, we got this another gas on it. So I do like the fact that Goku seems towards the end of this episode able to actually start to understand his limitations and everything and is able to fight. I'm wondering how much more we're going to see if he's limited. It's like he's still going to be able to go into his transformations and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if we're going to get there. But we haven't seen anybody that looks like he need to use it against Loki. Because even the main villain that he's supposed to be going after didn't really seem like he wanted to face Goku, the real Goku. So it's just hard to really seem like how much stronger he's going to be. But I do like how they're trying to like build him up to being like, oh, you don't want to mess with him. He's like a crafty mastermind scrap type of person. So I like how they're kind of building him up that way because they can't build him up as like the strong, powerful type of character when you threw that out the door in the first episode. So
yeah, he's not going to be a Jiren or anything like that. A big beefcake dude. He's a clowny looking little thing. I think he's got mad Pilaf energy, which kind of just only lends itself further to the idea that this is GT 2.0. But the idea that he's very magic based, he's crafty, he's cunning, he's smart, and he has got like this, I don't know, unlimited fucking wealth of knowledge when it comes to magic. Like it's going to be a different kind of fight for Goku and the boys. Eventually we will see them go Super Saiyan. I mean, it's all over the promotional footage and like the intros and outros for these songs, opening and closing songs. Jesus.
They want that merch money. They
You know
gonna
what?
make it happen.
Bro, speaking of merch money, right? There's that. I was thinking about this and it made no sense to me. There's a part when they're trying to go through Warp Sama where they listen to me, Warp Sama. He's like, yo, what's up with that dude? He got pointy ears too. And Shin like gives him pointy ears, like with magic for a second to full warp. And he gets in, bro, if you could do that, and this again gets back to merchandising, why wouldn't you just let him have the pointy ears through the whole episode? That way people aren't looking at you like you're an asshole the entire time that you're down in the demon realm. I'll buy a pointy-eared little kid Goku Daima figure tomorrow, but you need to give me a reason to want to do it. Make the whole episode like that, so that way Goku's not out here catching strays for just having normal-looking human ears, you know?
Gosh. Yeah, I wonder if it was like a limitation like spell or something. It do seem like everything he do be having like a limitation. Like this only worked for so long from the Kaioshin perspective because it don't make sense the reason why he didn't use that basically help camouflage him down there the whole time. But I don't know. Either Goku was like, yeah, I don't want this no more or some shit like that. But I don't see why he didn't do that. And it would make sense for him to do that too. So I don't know.
And they could have sold me an action figure out of it. Like missed opportunity, guys. Come on. I'll tell you though, while I did start this conversation with the idea that I think this is going to be more of what we can expect on an episode to episode basis, like maybe it's not going to be a new planet every time, but episodic adventure based stuff ultimately culminating in this big thing against King Goma, right? I think that there's still a lot of exposition dumps that happen in throughout this episode. Some of them are done better than others. I think one that is a good example of one of these exposition dumps is when they're traveling in the ship and he's like, wait a minute, who came to get you again? Or who sent you to come get Goku? King Kaden. Okay. And you can like see Shin not respond verbally, but you can see it in his face, in his eyes. There's a couple specific shots of his eyes where it's meant to convey that he's not trusting Glorio. Those are good. I'll call them exposition dumps, even though could potentially be like, you know,
Foreshadowing.
maybe not foreshadowing, but like it could potentially be like a cover up story for what Glorio's, really doing. It could be lies, basically. Um, I think a bad example of it was when they finally get to the third demon world and like they're out in they're out of the ship. I think this is probably while Goku is running around breathing the air all heavy and stuff. He just Kaioshin says something like, I've never been to the third demon realm before. And Glorio's like, yeah, you're a Glind, right? Yeah, you're from the second. Rich boy. Not rich boy, but like the way that these I keep saying case, the way that the caste systems seem to be broken up is like the third demon world is the lowest of the three, and it's like real working class kind of demons. The second one is where Shin's from, and that seems like upper class, kind of like snooty shit. But then the first one, that's like
That's what
the
the Royals.
elites. Yeah, the royal palace or whatever the heck they called it. And for Glorio to just be like, rich boy, it just wasn't. I don't know. They
I
could
thought
have.
that was a funny scene. I liked
It
it.
was funny. The information that they convey is funny, but I felt like they could have done it better than just like this weird, quick little exchange in the middle of something else happening. I don't know.
I think he did that because it also kind of like hints at the fact that is this the reason why I'm having all these ill will feelings towards him type of thing? Is it because I see myself on a different type of class and
that's interesting.
I think he's kind of trying to play on his type of his like, his why are you so suspicious? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I think that's my mindset of that. But I did.
That's
think
a good point, dude. I didn't think of that.
And I also think it's cool because in that moment, Shin didn't have nothing to say. He can debate him, be like, no, you're wrong, like nothing. Because as soon as he was like, oh, yeah, well, I've never been here to the third. Oh, you know the reason why, right? And he just hit him with that. And it's just like, damn. And I do like the fact that Goku wasn't around to really hear that part. Because then I think that would have been like something like, oh, damn. That's how y'all is, shit, type shit.
Yeah.
I don't think Shin like that no more, type no more like that.
Yeah, good point, dude. I didn't think about it like that. That's probably what I should have taken away from that instead. That's a good point. I'll tell you what though, I'm kind of curious. Like this episode, as much as I enjoyed it, it is very, I'll say it again, it is very GT coded. Honestly, the end of this episode where they walk out and Glorio's spaceship isn't there. On one of the rewatches I just did for GT, I think it's the Goku versus capitalism arc, which I think is episodes 3, 4, and 5. Like they end the episode and like a fucking spaceship tow truck like comes and takes their ship at the end of it, and half the episode of the next week is just them trying to get their ship back. It was a little bit like that, and I kind of did enjoy the dynamics between these three characters. Goku and Shin's a weird but efficient and fun pairing for sake of storytelling. Glorio's got some mystery about him, but he can also fucking throw hands, and he's got his cool Han Solo gun. I'm into it. But as much as I enjoyed it,
we're gonna get another character eventually. So I wonder how that's
we're gonna get the B team. Eventually Vegeta, Piccolo, Kibito.
No, isn't another girl gonna be coming to the team? It looked like she in
her
I think that's gonna be the daughter of the king.
Maybe. I'm dying to know who she is. She's all over the outro and intro, and I'm just like, at first I thought it was like his Shin's sister. I can't think of her name right now. Dr. something or other. I thought it was like a little kid version of her.
That's not it.
No, it's not. Arinzu, I think, is Dr. Arinzu. I thought it was a little kid version of her, but I don't think that it is.
I don't think that's her.
Designs. I'm interested to know or learn who that character is. I believe that their name is Ponzi. I don't know how they're going to say it. The design for them was put out, I don't know, months ago.
I wouldn't be surprised if the sister has something to do with Glorio going to get them. I wouldn't be surprised with that. Because she did seem like she was like, you don't know what side she was really on in the beginning. If she wanted them to take over or not take over. Like, so I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she had something to do with that.
Potentially. I mean, and it was referenced that somebody else from the demon realm, I think it was the first episode, that somebody else
did go there first. Then
she went to the world. She went to Earth before Goma went there with Neva. I think, I don't know. I guess without Kibito knowing the pin to use warp, like that's an update. Shin's like, that didn't used to be like that. That was another example of like, how does warp work? And then just like
And
talking it
why
out.
don't you notice when your job is literally to be the overseer of the
Because
world?
he hasn't been back to the demon world since he left there when he was a
But
kid.
that's
Now,
something that's happening in the regular. The warp summon's here. Like, how
yeah,
don't you know that? Like, it just, I don't know. Sometimes it be making me think, do they really even be doing their jobs, bro? That's
no.
why the Earth, no, that whole world, like Earth, what was it, human rate rotation or power rotation they were talking about during the tournament arc was so low. That's why they
Oh,
had to compete.
the mortal ranking number or whatever.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
they was ranking.
Um, I don't know how it's gonna go with Kibito and like the B team because eventually Vegeta and Piccolo are gonna be with them. I just don't know how they're gonna get there or when they're gonna get there, if it's gonna happen anytime soon. Again, watching the ending credits, like there's a ton of shots of Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, Glorio, like they're all together. And it's like I'm assuming they're showing us these shots because eventually this cast will be together. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see a situation in which they would give us those visuals without the follow up of them actually being together on screen. Um, but without that pin number, I mean, how are they going to get through? Is Vegeta going to like blow a hole in Warp's mouth and fly on through? Probably not. That would be disrespectful. He's better than that.
Are they gonna be? It'd be funny if somehow Kibito could just like teleport them to Shin.
Yeah, I don't think
Like
he can use
bypass all that.
instantaneous
That'd be like
movement.
that. That'd be lit.
I
But
don't think
I honestly don't know unless they run into another demon or something that has a code or password. I guess you do have a whole bunch of Namekians you might could run
that
into.
would be a fun little like to break up the whole Goku Glorio Shin thing. It's like, what do you mean we need a pin number? All right, let's go to this nearby planet because it's right by that big grid looking planet,
Mm-hmm.
Bop Toppy or some shit like that. What if they're like, well, let's go in on this planet and beat the shit out of somebody for a code? Like that would be a fun little breather of an episode from the main story. I
I
would love
mean,
that.
that'd be interesting. I mean, they gonna need some type of pin unless something happens future long and they don't need a pin, or I guess Goku goes back, or somebody else gets sent to get them. You know what I mean? That could
Yeah,
always happen.
good point. Yeah, maybe that girl Ponzi is the reason they come in. Who knows? I'm
Or maybe that's the reason why she came here the first time. Maybe she did get a code to somebody.
I'm excited for the show. I'm so happy that Dragon Ball's back week to week.
That's
What
funny.
a goddamn dude! It feels so nice to have that again. And at the same time, the Ranma reboot that I'm watching, dude. Have you tried it yet or no? First four
I'm,
episodes are out.
I'm gonna watch it. They're starting this week.
Man, it's been so good so far.
Has it been good? Okay.
Oh, it's been so good, and it's been in a lot so far to this point. Every episode that they've done has been like a remake of episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 from the original series, but done in like a very loving, fun way. My point is, it's fun
Like,
to have new shit that I'm excited about every week again, including Daima. I'm not gonna lie, as most people feel, would have way more preferred a return of Dragon Ball Super.
yes.
I would love to be watching the Moro arc right now over Daima. However, Daima to this point has been enjoyable, and I think we're just getting started with it. I think the story is going to continue to grow. Again, like it's Toriyama writing it himself. Like it's going to be a decent, like thought out story as its own little individual unit. It's not, him writing manga chapters week to week for 10 fucking years at a time and having all sorts of continuity errors and lapses of memory. This is one big long idea from him. I do wonder how long this is going to go. Um, I know that a lot of people out there are
I'm thinking 50
blaming.
episodes.
You thinking 50 episodes? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm hoping. I don't think
I'm,
this. I don't think this should be a drawn out story.
it's
It,
not.
it needs to be like 50 episodes. I think that could be. That might be a little too much, but I feel like that should give you enough to be able to complete this
I'm
story.
thinking it's going to be about 24 to 30, somewhere in there. And the
Okay.
reason I'm thinking that, right? A lot of people out there right now, One Piece is on break. And people are accusing Dragon Ball Daima of being the reason that One Piece is on break because Toei has totally pulled out all of the stops in terms of getting all the top animators and supervising producers to come work on this big celebration tentpole series, right? So a lot of people are saying things like One Piece being off until the spring is because of Dragon Ball Daima. I don't think that that's true. I think maybe they could afford to take a break on One Piece and like let the manga continue to do its thing so they have more stories to animate. it's wild to me that a thing like One Piece and even Dragon Ball Super too operated like this. They don't do seasons. It's just a new episode every single week, pretty much throughout the year for years and years at a time. They could afford the break. All that being said, though, when those shows do come back in the spring, there's another one as well that I'm not thinking of. I just hear the most from the One Piece fans because they're the loudest about it. I'm thinking that the show will be done at the end of March, just before the spring television season starts, or the new television season starts for spring in Japan. And then One Piece can come back and have all their fucking animators and staff members. That said, 24 episodes. It's short. It's gonna feel shorter when it's all said and done. I don't know. We're 3 episodes in. There's a long way to go. So as much as you might want a thing like Tooper. Tooper is, I think, the funnest thing to call Dragon Ball Super Part 2. As much as you might want that in the moral arc, just like this thing is just getting started. It's going to get good. It's going to get more fun. It's been so fun. That Goku fight at the end of the episode is like top Goku shit for me. At least little kid Goku shit. Maybe not adult Goku shit. But we're just getting started. It's been a lot of fun so far. And that was a long, rambly, meandery way to try to get that across. You got any final thoughts before we wrap this one up, dude?
No, not really.
Dun 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 dun. Womp womp. That's me. That's me hitting the sound effect board because Raysean didn't have anything to say, so I'm just filling time now.
Sorry, I just got a little pissed. Something happened and threw me off for a second.
What, in like real life, or are you looking at me and you're like, "Damn, that dude's ugly"? What? Life. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. That's super dope this week. If you're listening to the show for the first time, we had quite a few new people find us last week from the Daima coverage. Hey, welcome. Hope you don't hate us. If you enjoy it, like and subscribe. We've been a podcast for a long, long time, and
for sure,
we've been different iterations of this podcast, and this is the latest iteration of it. Happy to have new Dragon Ball stuff to talk about. Raysean, if you want to go ahead and plug your stuff.
Yes, you guys can also check me out on the Raysean Gadson Anime Podcast. We've been doing some amazing stuff over there. We got some nice voice actor interviews. We also about to be dropping some Bleach content. And also, if you guys want to check out something that's not all the way animated related, we also have an advice podcast. That is something that we did previously. We might be coming back to, but we do got some episodes over there if you guys want to check out, and let us know if you guys do want us to continue that.
Damn, Raysean's in full fucking publicity mode today. Yes, we do have a advice podcast called The Advice Pod. It is on, we're going to call a hiatus at the moment because most things take a lot of fucking work. So we're just going to keep rolling with Dragon Ball right now because that's pretty much all I can manage, and I can barely manage that. Make sure you, again, rate and subscribe. We appreciate you checking it out. We'll be doing these week to week. So, on the podcast platform, if you're there, please subscribe, rate the show 5 stars, YouTube, click the subscribe, all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to end the show still, but my new acoustic version of Daima also got some very nice compliments from the people last week.
Okay.
So you enjoy that. Thank you. This is the song playing now, probably. And then I'll... Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to figure out how to end the show.
Oh, I thought that was good.